When you look at life philosophically, it might seem very funny. Think of it. Why do you make money? You make it so it will give you leisure. It will give you freedom from anxiety, security, and ease. But the very act and idea of money gives you the opposite experience. So much of your anxiety, so much of your stress is in the act of making money and also not losing it. Why do you get into a relationship? So that relationships will give you comfort, security, freedom from loneliness. But relationships are anything but this. So much of your experience of relationships is insecurity, suspicion, not wanting to be made use of, definitely loneliness even while you are together. Why do you have children? So that you will be able to share the gift of love to another being, so that you can experience playfulness with a child, so you can feel whole. But parenting experience is anything but this. You are annoyed that they are demanding so much of your love and so much of your time. You feel inadequate. You are very upset that they are not grateful that you gave them life. What are you doing? Where are you running? Why does life feel so topsy-turvy? Namaste. Let me begin today with a very humorous but a very deep story. It seems an unhappy king has everything he wants and is miserable still. The royal physicians, the counselors, dancers, musicians, all have failed to make the king happy. Just then, a wise sage from the forest visits the king with a magical solution. He said, if you could wear the shirt of an absolutely happy man for one full night, then you will become happy forever. So the soldiers go far and wide in search of a happy man, but come back with the reports of how everyone in the kingdom had some hidden grief, some unfulfilled desire, or a problem to reckon with. After months of search, they see a man rolling on the ground in laughter, alone in wilderness. And with the anticipation of a handsome reward, they carry that man to the king's palace. The king comes down from his high throne to meet the man who's laughing to himself. And with folded hands, he pleads, give me your shirt for one night, and half my kingdom will be yours. The man, doubling with laughter, rolls on the ground. Rolling with laughter on the floor, he says, I never had a shirt on my back all my life. Let us look at the story. He thought happiness lay in his crown, and when he wears it, he will be happy. He was not. Later thought that happiness lay in a bigger kingdom, and he acquires the bigger kingdom. He was not happy. He thought his happiness lay in marrying a beautiful queen. He marries her, but he is not happy. He thought his happiness lay in having children. He has them, yet he is not happy. Finally, he thinks his happiness lies in a happy beggar's shirt, but this time the beggar did not have a shirt. Are you not like this king? Seeking love, you set out to find a perfect partner. All your lives, you're only engaged in elimination rounds. Not this person, not this person. Seeking tranquility, you set out to the most beautiful places on earth. You went out to see it. You keep wandering dissatisfied, saying, not this place, not this place. If you heard the inner dialogue that goes on within you, it is a constant negation of life. This person can't give me what I want. This career or this acquisition is not giving me what I want. We live with a noisy, dissatisfied, disconnected consciousness that has no delight. Remember, so many of your problems are not problems of circumstance. We can say that they are a crisis in consciousness. I want you to pause, stop running, internally stop running, and take this moment to be in the present. Sri Krishna ji and I have created Ekam as a center for enlightenment. It is created to birth a new generation of individuals who will be able to find solutions for the numerous challenges that are hurting themselves, their families, and the earth, to find solutions from an enlightened consciousness or a state of oneness. Our consciousness can be seen of as a vast spectrum. On one side of the spectrum is I consciousness. This I consciousness is destructive. On the other side of the spectrum is oneness consciousness. Oneness consciousness is constructive. That is, it is the force and impact of either of these states of consciousness that we feel at any given point in time. So, what is I consciousness? States of anger, stress, loneliness, indifference, apathy. Simply observe the nature of these states. In these states, your thoughts are obsessively preoccupied with yourself. Yourself has become extremely limited. All your thinking is about the I, and I. If your sense of self were to be seen as a circle in I consciousness, neither your family, nor your children, nor your friends, nothing exists. It is a very narrow, limiting circle. It is also a very painful existence, and everything shrinks in this state. Personally, your intelligence shrinks, your wealth shrinks, your relationships shrink, the grace that flow into your life shrinks. It is a very limited existence. You feel as if the whole universe is against you. Let us now take a deeper look at I consciousness. For unless you understand the extent of its influence of this I consciousness on your individual lives, on the society and the civilization, you will not become seekers of enlightenment. If we looked around us, there is one single disease that stares at us. In families as misunderstandings, in organizations as politics, between nations as war, and the disease is separation. At the root of all these separation-driven tendencies is I consciousness. It is a compulsive preoccupation with oneself. Let us now talk of the other end of the spectrum, which is oneness consciousness. Experiences of love, joy, peace, gratitude, compassion, endurance, courage. What is the nature of these states? It is interconnection and oneness. Each of these states of oneness consciousness, these states include yourself and the other, yourself and nature, yourself and the earth. In oneness consciousness, your emotions, your thinking, your decisions, your actions are all inclusive. They take into consideration your well-being as well as the well-being of the other. In oneness consciousness, our sense of self increases, expands progressively until there is no circumference. You become limitless. You are infinite. As you move into states of oneness consciousness, everything grows in life. Connection with the divine grows, grace grows, wealth grows, love grows. Your ability to impact the society and transform grows. You grow into an awareness that you're participating in something much vaster than yourself, and in fact, that you are the whole. In your family, the sense of connection will manifest as enduring love that will grow in spite of your loss of beauty or changing circumstance or changing needs and expectations. In organization, oneness consciousness will manifest as authentic cooperation. This oneness consciousness will create organization with an ecosystem that will give rise to sustained creativity and innovation. Individual assertion and aggression will give way to greater respect for oneself and the other, and greater vitality and commitment. In the committee of nations, it will manifest as great harmony. It will manifest as sharing of resources. Let me share with you a real life story of a couple who owned a steel company. They were from Brazil. This story is to show the power and the magic of oneness consciousness. Their company hit the rock bottom at the end of 2016 due to many factors: economy, China withdrawing from buying steel from Brazil, so many factors. This couple went through a deep mystical experience and a process with me. They were completely open to learning. They were, with great humility, they learned. And they learned the power of living in oneness consciousness and connecting to the universe. In the process, the man became free of his feeling of fatigue, fighting and fighting all the time for success, with a question, why should I go through all of this? For what? He had a very powerful experience of heartfelt connection to all his employees. He had over 1,500 employees. He felt connected to them. And then in that experience, he knew he had to succeed for the sake of all these employees and their families. And his success was no more about him. There was a deep sense of gratitude that he felt for all of them. He went back home and began the practice of soul sync, magical meditation. He did it every morning. He felt spiritually connected. He felt inseparable from the universe. And from that state, he held an intention for abundance for all his employees and himself. I met them after a few months, and they were in a state of joyful surprise at the turn of events in their life. They said, with only 2 salespeople promoting their produce, the company shot back to growth miraculously. They were not even advertising heavily. They were just going about everything with dedication, along with their practice, living in a state of oneness. This is a classical example of synchronicities. A connected and a oneness state of consciousness. You should know that it is a field of magical action. From the state of oneness consciousness, you would experience immense power. As a leader, you would experience immense power to change a dysfunctional system. As an entrepreneur, you will have the power to create abundance and achieve success. As a student, you will have the power to manifest excellence. As an athlete, you will enter a zone where you would transcend your bodily limitations. You can manifest every one of your dreams when you live from oneness consciousness. You manifest a beautiful world, not only for yourself, but also for your loved ones. And that is the journey that happens at Ekam.